Good evening and welcome to this week's Weaving Web3 with me, James.
Me, Chris.
And me, Stash.
Today we've got two topics. One is about an NFT project that we're very excited for. I'm very excited because, as these two have just said, I'm popping my cherry. I am losing my NFT mint and then release reveal virginity. So, boys, this is a project that Stash is spearheading it. It's not his project, but he's the biggest advocate in the world for it.
Yeah, he's taken over. So
Yeah,
he wishes
founder.
he was.
Supreme Leader Stash.
Yeah, that's me.
We've mentioned it in other weeks, but the project's Ghost Boys, or the Ghost Boy Lives. Is that what it's called?
Ghost Boy Lives, yeah.
Ghost Boy Lives. It's by Ivan Lua. Am I saying that right,
Yes.
Stash?
Yeah.
Who did Cool Cats.
Yeah.
And he also is part owner or founder of Alpha Labs.
Yes.
So it's like a collaboration between all of his companies, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's an NFT collection. Stash got us to all go and follow him when he had what 200 odd subscribers,
200 followers, 200 subscribers.
Yeah, there we go. I'm two in YouTube mode. 200 followers on Twitter, and as of now, let's have a quick look and see where we're sat. Bit of Ghost Boy. That's
probably 125k in a space
121.6k in a month. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it?
That is pretty mental. Not gonna lie.
And we've been saying this like months ago as well about this project. So there is evidence of us being OGs.
There is evidence in these videos of us talking about it. So
yeah. Absolutely. And what's been fascinating is so having watched this, I haven't ever seen one of these launches before, but he strikes me that he's doing a very good job of building hype.
Absolutely.
To go from, so he joined, it says Ghost Boy joined Twitter in November, right? So to go from 0 to 121k in 2 months, that's insane.
But I don't even think he was posting in November.
Wasn't.
Probably he just got it and then just had the name locked away, didn't he?
Had the name, yeah.
But I'm just going to talk about some of the things I've seen him do, because obviously this is my first time. So, Chris, be gentle with me.
Yes.
So there are a number of ways. So this project is doing a whitelist, and they're doing a guaranteed whitelist, aren't they? So that everyone who's on the whitelist gets guaranteed to purchase an NFT.
Yes.
Not necessarily. So he said. So basically, there's two different types of whitelist, right? There's an oversubscribed whitelist where it's basically like, he explained this when he was talking about it. Basically, when they oversubscribe the whitelist, they do like a collection of 10,000 and they put 20,000 people on the list. So it's basically like half the people. That way they can kind of guarantee that they're going to sell out. But quite a lot of people that did get whitelist will miss out. Whereas he said, so basically what happens, what he's doing is he's oversubscribing it by a tiny amount. So let's say he's doing 6,666 of these Ghost Boys, right? And he said he'll put between 7,500 and 8,000 people on the whitelist. That way he can guarantee it's going to sell out, because statistically about 90% of the people on the whitelist will be sort of clicked on, know what they're doing, know that they're on the whitelist in the first place.
Yeah, and he also really reiterate. Oh my god, I can't speak English. He made sure that the people that are minting are like from good communities. So there's not going to be a public sale. So he wants it for like special communities that he's handpicked that are getting these spots, or like they do fan art, or people that are very loyal to the project. So I'm not sure, but I think there will, for us, we will get a guaranteed mint. There will be a slight pre-mint because we hold the Blockalizer, a project that was launched by Alpha Labs, which is...
I was going to say...
Yeah, so...
We haven't announced the fact that me and James...
Yes, sorry.
James FOMO'd in today.
Yes, I screamed at you guys because I accidentally, on my break, saw that Elu, the account is called Elu, was doing a Spaces on Rug Radio. So I just tuned in and I was like listening, and then it hit me saying like there's going to be another snapshot, because the original snapshot was kind of just like out of nowhere, And
Can you
no
explain
people.
just to people what a snapshot is?
Yes. So basically, a snapshot is where, let's say, I want to take a picture on the blockchain of every single person that's holding, let's say, stash token. So whoever's holding stash token on the 21st of December at 10 a.m., you've all made the list. And if anyone else buys a, let's say, stash token after that, I don't know that, and they won't be allowed to do the mint. They won't be in that special whitelist. So that's why a lot of people got like, were like, oh my God, blah, help kind of thing. And they panicked. And then when they announced it again in the spaces, before it even ended, I was like, guys, you need to buy this blockalizer now, like do it now. And then shortly after, you guys FOMO'd in, the price skyrocketed to like 3.3 ETH.
0.35 it was at.
Yeah,
I
but
saw
we
it hit
didn't sell because we didn't
0.45.
sell.
It did hit 0.4 actually.
It hit
did
point,
hit
Whoa.
0.45.
So
0.45 is where that's where I sort of won was that I didn't think one actually ever sold, but there were certainly some selling for 0.42.
Yeah, both me and James managed to secure one at about 0.17.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, the reason why I specifically didn't FOMO in earlier was because he had said that he had taken a snapshot like a month ago or something like that. So basically, like really early on, he was like, oh yeah, snapshot's taken. And I was like, oh, so everyone that has it then is
He didn't really give long enough between announcing that he was going to do a snapshot for Blockalizer and doing the snapshot. He didn't announce that I'm doing a snapshot. No, we didn't sort of go through any of that.
Yeah, it was more announced on Blockalizer itself. That was the problem, I think, because a lot of people didn't follow the other projects, so that's how people miss out, I guess, at the end of the day. Yeah. But I do agree with you. There wasn't saying there will be in the next few days he's taking a snapshot, which I do agree on your part.
The thing is, I get that they're obviously both accounts are run by him, but it's not hard to retweet your other account's post just so that everyone sees. Do you know what I mean? If Blockalizer posted,
well, maybe there's.
But like I think it's for the true followers. There must be a strategy to generate double hype.
Yeah, like
when he initially done that on the Alpha Labs.
I just thought that was a way of raising additional cash. Maybe I'm a bit of a pessimist, but I thought it was. I release this collection. I then pump up the sales twice, potentially, and then get a little bit more volume, a bit more cash in your pocket.
Potentially.
Maybe. Maybe I'm just a bit cynical, but.
Well, I mean, you're probably right, to be fair, because this project is to fund other projects, right?
Yeah. So it's going to 50% of the mints from the profits, or the mint profits from Ghost Boys, is going to the venture studio that they're saying that they're going to launch and incubate more projects. And this could be first time Alpha you're hearing this, but potentially not confirmed. There could be an NFT exchange launching or something like that. But he said this is in the research area, because this whole studio is to develop technologies and research things. But I think Alpha Labs is going to be a big player over the next few years, which I'm going to commit
to. Did you
to.
guys, I mean, I'm sure you did because lots of people have, but did you guys see Invisible Friends when that minted?
Yes, Invisible Friends. I know them.
Yeah, so Invisible Friends did a similar sort of thing when they were minting, where you had to, in order to get onto whitelist, you had to hold both of their other collections that ran Character Collective, which is the people who run it, and both of them ended up pumping to like 1 ETH. And now, if you look at it, like they're way down from there. But it's a good way of raising capital and raising awareness for your other.
Absolutely.
So I think it was like Slim Hoods and Mod Rollers, which if I look at them now. Mood Rollers, sorry. If I look at them now, Mood Rollers is at 0.06. At its peak, it was at, I mean, it's got 10,000 ETH
volume
traded, and at its peak, it was at 2.5 ETH.
Oh,
that's
a lot. And Slim Hoods is at 0.07 with about 10,000 volume as well. And at its peak, again, it was at, let's have a look, come on. 2.7 average price ETH. And that was all because Invisible Friends was so hyped up
I
Yeah.
suppose it's a great way, isn't it? Though, like if you're launching a project and you get hype, if you were planning on giving away whitelist anyway, it doesn't cost you anything because essentially you give away the whitelist and then people get the opportunity to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you do is you just say to all of your friends in the space, "What I'll give you whitelist, and then the next project that you launch, you give my people whitelist. We all pump each other's boats. Pumping boats is not a thing. Pump each other's tires up. We all pump each other's tires up, and we all win."
Yeah. Well,
But I
that's
just
what everyone does. I think they do that in every single industry anyway, don't they?
Of course they do. I just what I found really interesting about the way that I've been watching his Twitter. I've got my bell icon turned on because Stash was like, "Do that," so I've done it. Um, Stash is a dictator of our group, by the way. He
I don't know
looks
what you're talking
kind and
about.
stuff, but he's no political views aside. But he's a
After today, I
dictator.
think all praise Supreme Leader Stash.
Well, thank you so much. I
Well,
appreciate
exactly.
it.
We've put our lawsuits on hold, and we will wait to see.
Because now you're making money.
Absolutely, Stash. That's welcome to capitalism.
But as soon as the green goes into black, then into red, you're like, here we go, lawsuits, here we go.
Yeah, well, you see the same happens with normal government, right? Once people start losing money, being poor, like they start revolting. Whereas when everyone's rich, they're all happy, aren't they?
There won't be
Exactly.
any revolts here. I'm telling you this, no revolts on my
Me and Chris
watch.
have got a
You will
guillotine on order.
crush the resistance.
Yeah, I am gonna crush.
Stash is sat there at the end of the episode, Chris, going, "Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake." Every week he says that.
Yeah,
so they can't afford bread.
So the future of weaving Web3, when Stash finds two people to replace us two, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be ChatGPT and someone else and like some other AI software.
Oh no, enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Right, so projects that you've seen before, because it's my first one. Thinking about like hype and giving whitelist and stuff. My favorite thing that Ghost Boy did on his project, or whatever his name is, I really enjoy. He put a riddle out, so he tweeted what the answer to the riddle was, and then a few days later put out a question riddle website essentially, but it wasn't blatantly obvious what the first answer was, so people rushed there and flooded it, and then that was probably the best opportunity for anyone to get whitelist
because there's only a few hundred. Like I think it was just maybe a few thousand, few hundred followers that are still there.
Yeah, so and that was bizarre, but that blew up because he then had to take it off of whatever website he put in because it was just essentially getting DDoS
crashing. Yeah,
and so then he put it on Twitter and did answers in there. But then people were copying what the other answers were. Me and Stash were texting about it. I told Stash what the right answer was at the end, but we were too late.
We deleted our one because we had the wrong answer. And then
exactly. But that was a great way of making hype. You know, he's done stuff like he did a traits competition, and I saw like there's some really cool ones. There were some naff ones. Like this guy did like Viking hats. They were really lame, and no one liked them. They were actually really good, Stash. They were actually really good. I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Don't mention the chili pepper.
The chili pepper. Oh,
the Ghost
Chris, the chili pepper was genius. It was one of the best. Right up there with the Ghost Boy hot dogs that he's done.
Yeah.
But he was doing lots of clever ways of building hype whilst promoting his project. So, you know, he gave you a trait and said, look, put traits on it, which then gets loads of people engaged, and he gets good ideas, and it generates hype. And he said give it a name as well, like stuff like that. And then what was the other one? So he did the traits.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Normal art competition, fan art, stuff like that.
But again, the fan art was really good.
Oh, it was amazing.
That's the thing, there are so many people that are better than us.
Of course, everyone's better than me, Chris. But everyone's better than me in nearly everything. But no, it's been really fascinating to me to watch sort of how this process has gone and how people are building hype. And I think if we come to a point where we do an NFT project, I'm going to be stealing all his ideas.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I've been jotting down how we're going to promote stuff.
We are nicking it. Absolutely we are. And of course, what we'll do is we'll give out some whitelist to our friends who are the OG subscribers here. So what we'll do, we'll snapshot it. We'll snapshot today, right? And we'll give
the 16 people.
We'll give 17 now. 17 now. We'll give whitelist
subscribers
to me, you, Chris, and my mate Phil, and then those will be the people who've got whitelist. But no, I think like that. Honestly, it's given me some great ideas of how, if I were to do an NFT project, I'd do it. And it's just interestingly though, it's not just an NFT thing. For me, it's been a massive marketing lesson. Like if I wanted to sell something, I think I'd now be like, okay, that will make sense. Like person to person, me trying to sell you something, I'm probably quite good at. The idea of trying to sell online in 140 characters, I would have had no idea. I know it's 280 now, but I'd have had no idea. But like having watched this, it's just changed my mind a little bit about like actually how do you create hype?
Yeah.
Something I've never had to worry about. But anyway, so like we said, they share each other's projects. And we've got blockalizers now, so we should be on the whitelist.
We have blockalizers, so we are in the Snapchat. We should be anyway. That he's going to take today, and then we will be minting next week.
And then you two walk me through, hold my hand through the minting process. What am I to expect? Let's just hope I'm not on a plane. Let's hope
it either will go super smoothly or it's going to crash. That are the only two options. I've never had
thing is, though, if he's whitelisting everyone, if everyone that is,
but the blockalizer people are going to do it before the main allow list.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that's what I'm pretty sure, because when I was listening to one of the talks, I'm pretty sure there will be two parts. There'll be like the OG people, then all the other people.
I mean, that would be very
because
good.
Because he was saying he's worried about the gas wars. So to prevent that, he's letting like the OG people who's been there from the beginning and block.
Yeah, well, also the thing is, you can't necessarily have a gas war if you've closed it to everyone except from these specific wallets.
No, that's true. That's very true. So it won't be as bad, but there will be a bit of traffic.
The thing is, right, all of these NFT projects, they always most normally they get botted if they're too hyped. So people are just trying to mint, and then the gas obviously goes massive, and it's whoever pays the most gas as transaction goes through. But if he's limited it to 7,500 people trying, that to me is very it's good. It means that there won't be as much of a gas war. Sure, it'll be busy because people will be as we said before, Ethereum processes 30 transactions a second, right?
I thought right now it was gone down to 7 when I last checked. Maybe it's 7, but I thought it was 7, wasn't it?
Really? Well, when I was doing my research, at least on my project, it said 30. I'm just going to take that as 30.
We can just go on the count, but I was just thinking, do the math. It will take a few minutes to mint out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. So we need to be on it, obviously, still. But I'm quite hopeful that we're going to get one.
Yeah, let's be quietly confident.
Yeah.
But no,
one thing that you said, James, before we started recording, it was funny because you had hopium. All this
yeah, of course I've got hopium. Look, Chris, we are gambling. Why would you not gamble with hope in your heart?
Oh my God, imagine if we had got a 1 of 1.
Yeah, but that's the dream. Everyone
it is, but you've got to be.
Have you ever played the lottery?
So I want to share my screen with you. I've got up all the NFTs that I have actually revealed myself, right? So here we go. So
are they all the ones in your hidden folder that I've rugged?
No. So none of these are in my hidden folder. So starting with Canine Cartel 0.02 ETH floor. I minted it. When was it? A year ago. Wow. August the 24th, 2021. This was one of the first projects that I got into. And it basically rugged. It's not a very good project. But it didn't help that when I revealed it, I got rarity rank 9,300 out of 10,000.
And that's what happens if you don't believe, kids, right? Yeah. You need to believe, otherwise God will punish you.
So moving on. I got a couple of Lucky Duckies. If you've heard of Lucky Duckies, they're these really cool sort of NFTs that the guy has animated, and he's created every one by himself, sort of with plasticine and stuff like that. It's all stop motion.
Do you want to accept the wrapped offer?
Do you
want to accept that offer?
Right there.
Yeah, so I got rank 6,200. Sure, it's better than 9,000.
Well, here's the question though, Chris. How much did you mint for?
Yeah, I want to see
I
the
think it
mint.
was 0.07. So yeah, it was 0.077. So it's down from there. I mean, the floor price is 0.04. Yeah, eh. I'm sort of like, I'll just leave
Hopium.
that until it does something, sort of thing. You know, the
Yeah.
meme where with the prodding stick do something. But yeah, so I got 6,200 and 4,000, which
Oh,
both are
cool.
like either side of like the middle, I guess.
Yeah.
So all right. Um, now here's one that I minted, and I haven't. No, I didn't mint it actually. I bought it straight away after
How much
reveal.
for?
Yeah, this is not necessarily a proud moment, but
Uh-oh.
But the
I
moment we insist we see, how
Yeah,
much for?
I want to see this. This was I can see it's worth 200 quid right now. $200.
Oof.
Ouch. Ruh-roh. That's a big
no, it's not really worth 200 because if you look at it,
ETH was much more expensive when he bought it.
Oh yeah.
I think I paid $1,000. I think it was in total.
1,000.
Yeah, but I'm still bullish on Pixel Pets, but obviously it's gone down quite a bit, and I haven't revealed it. So if we go here, you can see egg, unhatched, and the fire one, which the legendary, because there were 4 legendaries, one for each type. So there's
Yeah.
grass, there's water, and there's air.
Yeah.
And the legendary for fire has not been revealed yet, so it's in
Why
one of
did
the.
why did you reveal it
Why
on
didn't you reveal
stream?
it now on stream?
I ain't revealing it. I've had it like that since when did I buy it?
Could you imagine if he'd been sat on a rare one that he could have sold for like 5 ETH?
I bought it in February last year, so about a
So
year ago,
so
Well, okay,
exactly a year ago.
so
and
Chris,
I've kept it unhatched.
without your hopium, then how much are the legendary ones, the 4 legendaries or the 3 legendaries? What are they? What are their
Oh,
last
let's
sales
see.
for?
Wait, deities. Here we go. Wait, it won't work like this because so the unhatched, the floor price for a fire one, the lowest floor is 0.24, which isn't too bad. Come on. Where is
Yeah, I
it?
think you need to clear all because right now you've still
Yeah.
got all. Oh, okay, there you go.
So
Deities.
these are the 3
They've never been
legendary.
sold, I
None
guess. They
of
haven't.
them have been sold since pre-reveal. Oh yeah,
Wow.
I begged to get on the whitelist for this. I begged so hard. I literally like wab.eth, if you ever watch this, like, F you, man. Because I
What was
tweeted at
Wab?
him
What
every
was
day.
this by
could
Sappy
could you
Seals?
imagine, Chris?
Huh?
Sorry, you go.
No, no, go.
I say, could you imagine, Chris, if he noticed that you'd given them all this attention and he went, I'm going to give him one of the deities, and you
Guess
sat on
what?
it?
Guess what? He wouldn't have had any control because I had to buy on
Oh,
secondary.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but I literally tweeted at him every day for like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, and he didn't. He liked every single tweet that I made towards him, and he never
No.
gave me like this. And so I think mint price was 0.03,
Yeah.
and I bought
That's
for
good.
0.37. That's how crazy it was. Yeah, because this is the project which is linked to Sappy Seals. The
Okay.
Pixelverse is and
Yeah,
they're
okay.
working on it, and I'm still very bullish on this.
So you didn't get a whitelist for having a sappy seal then?
No, no.
See, that's crazy to me. Like, it would seem to me like the people you'd want, I suppose maybe if you want to grow your network.
Thing is, there are 15,000 pixel pets, right? And there are 10,000 Sappy Seals. So you're giving
Yeah.
away like three
No, but
quarters,
you
two
wouldn't have to.
thirds of your collection.
No, but you could do whitelist like first 500 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like Ghost Boys has done
I,
for
I'm not.
Cool
I'm not
Cats.
defending him because yeah, like he pissed me off.
Oh, what a sad
Yeah, I got
cat.
the sad cats. So this is a project. If you've heard of Sad Girl, um, Sad Girl. Wait, what's it called again? Uh, come on, your wallet. Here we go. Sad cats. Sad Girls Bar. If you've heard of
Yeah.
Sad Girls Bar, I got in on Sad Girls Bar quite a while ago because it was like sort of female centric. They were doing like all these different things, like collabs, and it did well for a while. And then they minted the Skeletons, which was a free mint, which is also in my list. So I've got the Sad Cats. And where's my skeleton? I didn't open my skeleton. But yeah, like if you see, they went up to like 0.3 and now they're back down to like 0.02. So
did a lot of volume though. A lot of volume there.
Yeah, 2,500 ETH. But yeah, so and I got this as a free mint, the skeleton, this one here, which I haven't
cute.
done that badly on rarity for that.
That's good.
Pretty good.
1,100 out of 5,000. But yeah, that was a free mint, and the floor price on that is.
Nice. Your happy days. You've got $17 in your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. It was free. So, and then they released the Sad Cats, which have you? What's his name again? Pranksy.
Pranksy. I like Prank. He's really big.
Yeah, so Pranksy, basically, it wasn't doing anything. I had access to it for like a 0.0. I think I had it for 0.02 that I could mint it. And so I didn't until Pranksy ended up minting like 1,000 of them or something. Whoa. Wait, you'll see here probably in the owners. Yeah, Pranksy has 500 of them. And Magpie NFT has 500 of them. They both minted them, and like they just started going. And I was like, oh, okay, because it minted out quite slowly. Like it didn't sell out initially, and like it was like a week later that Pranksy got on it and minted 500 of them. And so when I saw that Pranksy was minting, I was like, okay, I'm gonna mint. And literally the next day it sold out. So yeah, I've got 2 of these Sad Cats, which. I mean, again, it's all right. It's mid.
It's cute. I like it.
That one's very low rarity.
This one's a fancy one.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's one thing I'm liking about how they're doing the Ghost Boy is that he's limiting it all to one whitelist per wallet as well.
Yeah. So that's really good. So you can not one whitelist. It's you have whitelist. You can only mint one.
Yeah.
That's so if you want more than one.
Yeah, exactly. Because you end up getting these people who end up minting like 3 or 4, and then you're left out. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It's just not fair. And this is the latest one that I got, which I got very recently, and I revealed. I might have mentioned to you guys.
Oh yeah, Carrefour. Yeah.
That I couldn't open it. I managed to open it, and I got rarity number 7. I would have been better off just buying one off the floor, to be fair. But I thought, you know what? I'll risk it.
You're a gambling man. You've got to take the risk sometimes.
Exactly. Now I've got this thing, which we don't know what it does yet. So,
surprise!
The character, stuff. But yeah, that's basically all I've got that I've revealed. So as you can tell, and I'm a lucky man generally in life. I mean, I want a sappy seal.
Okay, that's true.
So, like, all my friends call me Jammy, and they're like, "Oh, how did you do that?" God. And then this is me showing you that I've got on reveals very, very mid to low.
Look, Chris, I enjoyed the tour around the graveyard of mediocre art, but you know.
Wow. I'm just gonna go.
No, it's not your mediocre art, it's mediocre art you bought.
No, my mediocre art was on show the previous.
Oh yeah, the chili wasn't the best, but it was good. I enjoyed it. But no, so yeah, I'm hoping. I'm gonna hope that what's gonna happen is we're gonna mint. Stash is gonna get a 1 of 1. He's gonna be thrilled.
The thing is, though, right? My pixel pet, the unrevealed one, the unhatched one, 100% the deity, right? It's 100% the legendary one.
Obviously, yeah, but
I wonder how many unhatched fire ones are left.
I think there's about 1,000.
So, come on, those are good odds, Chris.
4 in 15,000, right? Chance, which is what 4 in 15,000 chance. That's like a 1 in 3,000, 1 in 3,500. 2 a 1 in 1,000 chance. I mean, I know which odds I'm taking.
Come on.
If you do open it, it has to be on stream. It has to.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
100%.
yeah. I mean, I definitely will open it at some point, but it'll probably be closer to like when Pixelverse starts doing
Picks
something.
up, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, because obviously in order to use your Pixel Pet in the game, you need to have hatched your Pixel Pet. So.
Yeah.
And
are Pokemon going to sue them for ripping off Pokemon cards, or is that coming later?
There's enough differences that they can't.
Absolutely. So right, so that's a trip around my virginity. In addition to that, well, I'm not the one who described it as popping my cherry.
That's true.
In addition to that, another project that is doing their public token launch. Is that right? Have I said that right? Or have I missed it there?
ICO.
Is ICO. There we go. An ICO is Minima. Minima are a company that we met at Zebu Live, and they are essentially trying to create the first truly decentralized blockchain by having nodes run on individuals' phones rather than having centralized collections of people who actually do all the transactions. Because at the moment, on say like Ethereum or Bitcoin, there are big centralized hubs that are doing it. Typically, obviously, like back in the day when it was designed, people would do it with GPUs. Stash has had enough.
He's had enough. Yeah,
he's had enough.
He's
like, that was bloody dull.
Sorry, I had to get some water.
So yeah, typically the way it works is there's large centralized computes, essentially, we'll call them compute areas, whatever, around the world, processing these transactions on the exchanges. Minima, the way they're doing it is they're going, everyone's going to have an app on their phone, and it'll all run one big blockchain, and it'll all run off our mobile devices, and you don't need to be worried about, people ruining your consensus or whatever because they control the power. And sort of, it's honestly the blockchain with one of the true tenets of like blockchain technology built into it is the decentralization, because I think over time that's definitely been faded out as people have made more money. They've cared less about decentralization. Yeah, I don't know if you boys would agree.
In some way, yeah, I do. The end of the game of Minima, what I understand is one day they're just gonna not touch the network anymore. It's gonna grow to a certain point where no one actor can basically essentially hack it by taking control of the network, by having millions of phones in some warehouse that controls the network kind of thing. But I really like this idea for having a specific blockchain for like the phones and apps that's able to, because it has 4 different layers, as I remember, and each one has like specifics for, let's say, transactions. One's for building apps, and one's the execution layer where everything happens in the background. And having that is way more better than having like saying Ethereum on your phone, because that's a heavy network.
And that's the thing. It's about producing these networks that will actually work in the real world. Like, because the end place of blockchain, I can look at it a little bit with the blockchain technology. Like, we've got big, massive mainframes, and I know that Web2 stuff has gone back this other way, where actually people don't run servers anymore. Like, normally what you do is you have big Amazon AWS servers, because for cost and efficiency, it's easier to run like that. But why are we using big, massive compute powers when everyone has a little computer in their pocket and they want to self-auth things and process the network? To me, everyone using the mobile phones makes loads of sense, and it also helps out people in all around the world. So, for example, if you're in a less wealthy country, gas fees can be crippling. But if the gas fees are massively reduced by the fact that it's a massive network that's all run cheaply, then it just works a lot better. My only concern is there is a distinct lack of efficiency of running lots of smaller instances. So, like, for example, for all of us, say we were running the app and it drained 1% of your battery a day faster, but it does that on everyone's phones worldwide for 10 years. How much power has that used compared to single compute? That's my only concern with it, is that less efficient?
Because a big argument, right, for people who are against blockchain technology and all that is, it uses up so much power. It's destroying the planet. We're destroying the planet mining these silly blocks on some random chain that I've got nothing to do with. Yeah, no, it's a valid point
Hmm.
because right, we're trying to save our planet. We're going through like a climate crisis as well. But yeah, I feel like the amount of times people spend on their phones anyway, the battery, like this is pushing forward sort of like innovation, right? In a way,
Oh, absolutely,
whereas
yeah.
and people are going to be using their phones anyway for some reason, like whether it's playing Candy Crush and you lose your percentage of battery, right?
Yeah.
Or whether it's using minima, like I don't think it's really a valid argument.
Well, no, I just yeah, I like to play devil's advocate. I feel like for me, it's it was the only true way to have a decentralized blockchain is to have it run on an enormous amount of nodes. Like that's how it was designed.
Yeah, I
Original blockchain tech is that it was everyone can be able to run this on their computer, but it turns out that doesn't work over the long
So
term on like Bitcoin. But it doesn't mean it can't work for other
well,
protocols.
there was that big
uh,
hack on the Binance bridge, and CZ was able to call up the top 6 nodes because Binance only has 10 nodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 validators. And yeah, he was able to halt the entire chain because someone hacked his bridge. So the more when it comes, the true decentralization comes from having all these spread out networks.
yeah, rather than 10 guys, you can be like, oh, wait a second, guys. Sorry, I need to
Wait,
figure
so
something out.
there's 30 million about to be fucking cashed out to some random place. Let's
But
halt
then
this.
again, I'll devil's advocate that and say, isn't that good? Because you okay, so say how many people in the world hold BNB? If that bridge had been hacked, what would the price of BNB hit? Do you know what I mean? Because actually, halting that theft, right, could have actually saved lots of people millions
Oh
of
no,
pounds. But it's
I
tricky,
totally
isn't
agree
it?
with you.
It
I
would have been
absolutely do
like
agree.
Luna all over again.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
it
what I
would have been
mean.
because like, Binance have got cash, haven't they? But do you mean I think they could get over 30 million quid? It'd be a massive blow, but I'm sure they could recover from that. But I think just for me, like there are benefits to centralization. Um, it just is risky, isn't it, to just give someone else the keys to the castle?
Mm.
But then
Yeah.
again,
But that's why you
is
have
the
to build a
rabble?
robust system to prevent these kind of thing, and that's why there's going to be stress testing, or I don't know. It's going to be hard to choose.
Have
Do you
you
want?
guys have you guys heard of something called Pi?
Yeah, Pikecoin.
I have.
Yeah, so the Pi is, for those who don't know, it's a cryptocurrency which you mine on your phone, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
through an app. Every 24 hours, you click on the button and it mines Pi for you, right? I've been doing this for like 2.5 years now, I think. Been mining Pi. I've currently got about 2,500 Pi
Nice.
in my wallet, sort of thing. But basically, the way you raise the amount that you can mine is by getting more people in your circle, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I mean, it's halved quite a lot. So I think at the peak, I was mining something like point 3 pi per hour,
Oh,
Yeah.
something like that. And now it's 0.09. So it's gone down quite a bit because of halving and stuff like that. But um, that's a similar sort of thing, I guess. But it hasn't launched officially. So everyone's like, oh, it's just a scam because they want to gain revenue from advertisements and stuff like that, which they do have advertisements on their app. However, they have an option to turn it off if you want to. Like they're basically coming up and being like, okay, we have advertisements, but that is purely to support us financially whilst we're sort of creating this
Yeah.
thing. Right. So yeah, it's a similar concept and what you were saying about it being on phones and stuff like that. And I don't know enough about it to comment, but Pi is actually trading right now for when like it's like an IOU sort of system on Huobi. So Pi Network, and it's quite crazy the prices that it has reached on that. So Pi Network, if I check right now on cryptocurrency.
I thought they didn't
I,
want it people to sell.
yeah, so I mean, technically you can't because it's not public yet, but Huobi on like an IO. It's strange. I'm not really here. I don't really get it fully. But it's £42.40 per pie on there.
Wow. And you got 2,000.
I've got 2,500. Yeah.
So you can
However,
literally say, I owe you 2,500. Give me 40 quid per coin and see you later.
yeah. However, there is a warning at the top. There have been reports questioning the legitimacy of Pi Network. Please note the mainnet is not launched yet, and price display below for certain exchanges reflect the value of the IOUs, and it may not be transferable across exchanges.
So, right, what you've just described there reminds me of. Do you gents remember me talking about a project someone talked to me about called Safu X?
Yeah.
That I said that reeks of a scam. They've rebranded to Vulcan blockchain.
Oh, wow.
Right. And as far as I'm aware, everyone's tokens are still locked up. But I watched a fascinating video on it late at night because I was really interested. And this guy was talking about how liquidity pools work and liquidity pairings.
Mm-hmm.
So for liquidity pools to work, you need to put in, obviously, for example, a pair, don't you? Right? Mm. So people were sacrificing Ethereum and their Seifu tokens, right? So they were putting those in. To get liquidity out, they could no longer get their liquidity out. It was locked away. So essentially what's happened with this rebrand is all the BNB, I think it was BNB and Safi they were putting away. They now can no longer get access to that BNB because they've sacrificed it away. But the guy who sets it up can.
So it's like it's called a honeypot scheme where
so he can now pull out their BNB or their ETH or whatever they put in.
Yeah.
They can't touch it because they can't get onto that contract or whatever. And essentially he's merged them to a different blockchain called Vulcan so that when he moved that, he could top back up the Vulcan with other bits, but actually skim all of this BNB out of the liquidity pools when they do the move over. And it was really interesting. The guy was going through ETHScan or BNB scan, whatever it was, going through explaining how this functions. And I think it's fascinating when you go through, because I went on the Vulcan website and their total Ethereum sacrifice to date is $508,000, apparently. Let alone what people bought. People bought these nodes. People did all sorts of other bits. So just when Chris was talking about his there, if you're not putting real world money in, fair enough. Like, you're not actually really losing.
That's the thing. I'm just pressing a button every day, right?
Yeah.
So I might be using some of my power on my phone, I don't know, or like it might they obviously get some revenue because of ads and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not paying anything for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I mean. But like the point at which people are saying, give us your money to buy into this thing and sacrificing to get more and these massive gains, it's just scammy behavior. Also, the fact that if a company ups and just changes its name, run a mile. Like if it's like a full complete logo rebrand, name rebrand, everything is changing, right? It's still the same website though. Yeah, 100%. Because do you remember when I looked at the Seifu one with you guys, there was like a bit like it was something like called the Bitcoin Bonanza, where people they're like, oh, we've certain amount of Bitcoin. It's now called the Ethereum Extravaganza. I mean, it's the same. It's the exact same.
At least he's coming up with catchy themes.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, if you're gonna scam, you better be
the Cardano craze.
If you're gonna be scammy, you better be fun with it. But it's ridiculous because people just move over. But people's life savings will go on a project like this.
Yeah, it's scary. It's sad,
and they just won't realize it. It's people. People want to get rich quick, and they just don't realize that they are not going to get rich doing that. So what you should do instead is gamble on NFTs like we're doing.
Yay!
And this is where we end the pod.
this is where we end the pod. But our last segment that we do every single week, unless Stats forgets or is ill or doesn't have the money,
or the last few weeks where he's disappointed us thoroughly.
Oh, in fairness, Chris, we've not regularly been recording on our normal record day, as we're not doing today. So I'll cut him a little bit of slack.
Oh,
right.
This is something different and new.
Let's get a look at that.
Okay, that kind of looks like I
It's
think
got
I know what that is and where it's
breathe.
from.
Oh,
Right.
where is this
It
from?
looks like a donut, but it's
Mhm.
It's
wrapped.
not a
So
donut.
does it have cinnamon in it?
Is it a
Yes.
Cinnabon?
Is it a Cinnabon?
It's kinda. Yeah, I guess you can.
Is it
Cinnamon, but it's got
from
other stuff.
Cinnabon?
Huh? Huh?
Is it from Cinnabon?
No, it's not from Cinnabon.
Oh, okay, okay.
Stash is too bougie for brands.
Yeah,
Oh well, no,
true.
this isn't the usual class I go for, but
Uh,
I heard good things about this, so I was like,
okay,
Cinnabon
okay.
recently came to the UK, so I was like, "Oh,
really?
he's on Cinnabon."
Haven't
I'm
been
gonna
able to leave
say
uni.
I've got a good strong guess, Stash.
Okay, go for it.
I think that is a creamy glaze spinner
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
from I don't know, the cream pie cake shop. That's what I think.
Close.
Chris,
What are you thinking?
I was gonna say Cinnabon, so a
just
Cinnabon from a toffee Cinnabon from Cinnabon.
You're both wrong. This is a caramelized biscuit bun from yours truly, Aldi.
is it?
It's actually so good. It's a bit dry, but the actual flavors of it is actually really good.
Matches your
I know,
chat.
I know this isn't my usual £6 per
I need to
donut,
go to
but
Aldi.
yeah.
Do you know who has the best bakery? Lidl has got the best bakery.
Oh,
I'm going to make the
Lidl have
argument.
absolute no hands down.
Uh,
This
and why is
best.
their bakery so good?
It's just too good. I
It's
remember
European. That's why, because that's what every European
we
supermarket's
went to
like.
Lidl in Greece, and in Greece they have a really big thing about pastries, right?
Mm.
They have like cheese pies, they have spinach pies, they have everything, all in like flaky pastry. And it was so cheap there. It was like €1 for these things. And I was like, we just got lunch from there every day when I was in Greece. It was so good.
Right. Well, with our Grecian
On that
stories
bombshell,
and
yeah,
Stash eating a cake
Thank you.
from Aldi.
from Aldi. I'm sure he tutted at the people in there as he went through. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There isn't a waitress greeter at the door. But no,
Absolutely not.
that has been this week. We've been Web3 with me, James.
Me, Chris.
A mustache. Thank you.
Au revoir.